Hello everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and go over some updates we have for quarter two as well as some reminders on some expectations. Okay, so I really wanted to answer this question first so that a lot of our anxiety around APUSH only being in the first semester is somewhat eased. So why is APUSH only one semester and why is it during the first semester? Well, in 11th grade, y'all have to take a STAAR exam for U.S. history. Now, I know that might be a surprise to some of us who didn't know that, but please don't be worried. Us preparing for the AP exam is literally us over preparing for the STAAR exam. And just y'all even being enrolled in APUSH, it's already expected that you guys would be the ones to pass the STAAR exam. The STAAR exam is in December, so it was necessary for us to take APUSH first semester because if we took it second semester, y'all would not have known anything on that exam and would have really been hot. And I think that there's some benefits to APUSH being first semester, right? Where you take the whole class in one semester and then you have months before the AP exam to literally just prepare. Let that information process in your brain a little more. You have more time to watch videos, to practice writing DBQs, LEQs, all of that. So I think there's definitely a lot of positives to APUSH being one semester. Here's just a quick little glimpse of what a STAAR question looks like. As y'all can see, it's very, very straightforward, much more straightforward than the multiple choice questions you guys are used to answering. So you can definitely see how we've definitely been over preparing for the STAAR exam. Most of us will get this answer right. It's G, right? Stronger and cheaper material for railroads and bridges. If you know what the Bessemer process was and you know what time period it was in, it just makes sense that G would be the answer. It had nothing to do with light bulbs, railroads, or mechanical reapers. But we'll definitely be practicing STAAR exam questions once we get towards the end of this quarter. So from some glows from Q1, like I've always told y'all, we're consistently scoring higher than other YES campuses. We have a strong rate of completion on our homework and classwork assignments, and I'll let y'all know why that's so important, and that makes me really happy in a bit. And then a large percentage of us are hitting meets on our exams, and we're understanding the structure of SAQs, LEQs, and DBQs. Some grows I have for quarter two is less reliance on completion grades and more reliance on mastery-based grades, and I'll explain that in a minute. More participation. I would love to hear from some voices that I don't usually hear from or have never heard from. I do think we have a great participation rate, but I would just like to hear from more folks. And then good vibes only, y'all. That negative energy has got to go. We cannot say how much we hate AP or how we're going to fail on a test or how hard this is and all these negative things, right? And expect for positivity and good vibes to come back at us. I can't walk into a test saying I'm a fail and expect to get an A, right? So let's just make sure we have a growth mindset in this class. Yes, things might be difficult, but also tell yourself, but I'm gonna still push through. I still got this. I'm still gonna master this. And then y'all, we're almost done with APUSH. I know it seems whoop, we have a whole other 9 weeks of this, but y'all, we pretty much got through the hard part. We got through being new to APUSH. Now that we're understanding of what APUSH looks like and how we only have a couple more units left and we're done, we'll definitely start getting into a space where we're more comfortable with answering those DBQs, LEQs, SAQs, MCQs, all the little Qs. All right, so our grading structure. So like I said before, we're gonna have less reliance on completion grades and more reliance on mastery-based grading, meaning the grades that are going into the grade book are solely based off of mastery, how well you're doing. Are you understanding the writing structure, the content, all of that? So one of the biggest changes you'll notice is that DBQs and LEQs are now summative grades, no longer formative grades. I know it can be a lot upsetting for a lot of us to see how well we did on an LEQ, right? And then noticing that it had very little impact on our overall grade. So now that we're familiar with these writing structures, I moved it on over to summative grading so that those great scores you get on those timed writings are actually making a much bigger impact on your overall grade. In terms of formative grades, when it comes to homework and classwork, so those exit tickets, I'm no longer grading you based off completion, but off of mastery. So I'll be writing down what scores you get on each exit ticket, and then your overall grade for that unit would be your like average grade for your exit tickets. And then with homework, I'm not grading for completion on that as well. We'll just have random homework quizzes every now and then, and that'll go into the grade book as a formative grade. Socratic seminars, when we do have them, will be one formative grade, as well as our reading guides. That'll stay the same. In regards to homework, although I'm not taking this down as a completion grade, you're still expected to do your homework daily, and I'll still be checking it daily, still be marking up my Excel sheet, noting whether you completed it or not. So you should still be following that criteria for success. And if your homework is not completed, it's still the same protocol, where that first offense is a warning and any other following offenses within that unit will be a demerit. And a reminder, when it comes to AP US History, Advanced Placement US History, is that this is a college level history course. So it's very critical that we're completing all assignments, whether or not they're being taken for a grade or not. Not completing those assignments is going to make it much, much harder for you to pass those unit exams as well as AP exams. Notice how our homework assignments are literally readings. Like, that's where you're getting the content information from. If you miss one reading, that's like missing 3 questions on your exam. That's content that you do not know. And you notice how during class, I don't really spend as much time focusing on explaining that content, but we're actually using prompts to dissect that content. So if you don't even know what the content looks like, you're not setting yourself up for success. And again, with this being a college level history course and this being an AP course, you have the opportunity to not have to take a course like this in college if you pass the AP exam. That's saving money, like literally keeping money in your pockets if you pass the AP exam in May. So it's very, 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 very important that we are taking this class seriously. It might not mean much to us now, but that $500, $600, maybe even $800 you'd have to pay in the future for this one little course will mean a lot to you then. If you sat in those classes and thought, man, like, I would not have to take this course. I would not have had to spend that money if I would have just taken my AP course in high school a little more seriously. Trust me, I have been there. I know. All right, and then lastly, when it comes to our completion rate of assignments and why I said I'm so proud of us, is that I saw a huge correlation last year in the students who did all of their homework, all of their classwork, and their AP scores versus the students who didn't really do all of their assignments, or especially when it came to like virtual learning, they didn't do much. And then I noticed that those were the students that were failing the AP exam. So the fact that we do have a high completion rate is making me happy, because that's telling me that like a lot of us will be passing our AP exam. So I just want to make sure that that stays in your mind. Completing those assignments is really a big deal. Like, I've seen it firsthand. The folks that got them 5s, them 4s, them 3s last year were also the folks that were literally doing every assignment, if not most of the assignments I asked of them. All right, and then lastly, a last reminder is just to watch the Unit 6 review video. If you're currently on the instructions page in Schoology, it's just a video right below this, where we will go over some things I really need y'all to study for our Unit 6 exam tomorrow.